what I'm asking you is, you're not but what I'm asking you is, what right do you have to speak to me when you're police? You're a private entity. You got, okay, what I'm saying to you is, you're private entity. And what I'm saying to you is, because I'm recording, and what I'm saying to you is, I'm not going to be forced to do anything with anybody. And what I'm saying is, I haven't gotten no art, but you asked me, could you speak? I'll let you speak. Let me speak. What I'm saying is, right. But what I'm saying is, I'm not in cooperation, and I won't be in cooperation with them, because they have no right to be at my door. If I haven't committed a crime and they can't prove it, and I haven't received no paperwork, I'm not obligated to do anything. I'm not obligated to do anything. Y'all a private entity. Y'all don't have a warrant to come in here. Y'all show me paperwork where it says that y'all have to come in here to see my kids, my property. And the police don't have to be here, because the police don't have anything to do with anything. I have not committed any crime, and I don't owe anybody no explanations. This is my property, and y'all trespassing on my property. Excuse me? Okay, what does it say? I can't see that. Oh, no, I'm not coming out or anything. I just would like to know what it says. Okay, but I don't even want to accept it. I'm not accepting anything from them. What I'm saying is what it say. Like, if they can't tell me what it say, y'all can't force me to do anything.
If they tell you what it says?
Oh, yeah, he can tell me what it says.
Possibly can. You just not cooperate.
Because I don't have to. Cooperate with who? Who is they?
Show me the paperwork. They're trying to show it to you. Now you don't want to say.
Okay, but what does the paperwork say?
It's not out the clear blue sky.
No, it is out the clear blue sky. Y'all probably don't even know what's going on. Right, so you can't say that it's not out the clear blue sky.
I don't appear out the clear blue sky. We come because someone called.
Right, but y'all not supposed to be here with them, trying to force us to cooperate with them. No, you're a private entity, ma'am. I know my rights. I know Constitution. I know all of that. So what I'm saying to y'all is, I don't have to cooperate with them, and you know that, sir. You're saying it will. So how do you know if it will?
Because there's a next step to the process.
Okay, what's the next step to the process?
The worker can explain it to you. He explained it to you.
Okay, what's the next step to the process, sir? And what do you need?
And now, this day of January 2007, this 26th day of January 2017, after conducting a motion to compel cooperation, the court here enters the following order. Motion to compel granted, mother and father to fully cooperate with DHS. School and DHS and child advocate is allowed to go into the mother and father's home. Breakdown with police assist if necessary. DHS is cool to obtain an OPC if the child is deemed unsafe. Mother and father refer to CEU for a forthwith drug screen if they avail themselves. That's basically.
Okay, now what judge gave you this, and what right do he have to give you that? No, first of all, it's on the paperwork. It's Judge Ronald somebody. How Judge Joseph Fernandez give you? No, but I received court papers that I can show you that was from a different judge.
You also have to remember you have more than one child that's involved in court.
Right. And my other daughter right here, right now, said that y'all forced words into her mouth, and she wrote an affidavit because y'all made up a whole complete bogus lie. My daughter be 16, and I have a letter from her if y'all would like to read that. And that's why I'm not going to cooperate with somebody who's trying to build a case to penalize me and my property. I'm not going to do that. That's why I'm not going to cooperate with this. And y'all, what y'all want to come so bad for to see? You want to see my kids through the window right now? Because the bottom line is, this is my property, and y'all not allowed. I'm not cooperating with that for y'all to try to build a case to take y'all next steps. I know how DHS operates. Y'all number one goal is to take people's kids, and y'all not coming in here so what y'all want? If Nishante the co-worker cooperated, she did an investigation, and that investigation was done with less than a month. Okay, she did an investigation and closed my kids out in less than a month. Y'all came back here. She told y'all that my kids was fine. You talked to her on the phone because you came here and I told you that. So if you talked to her, she did a walk through and did all that and closed my kids out. Why are you back here?
I explained to you the first couple of times we talked to the window.
Okay, well, I don't know. We got to verify if that judge, we got to verify that this paperwork is correct and all. I'm not going to allow, you can see my kids through the window if you want. I'll send you a picture or whatever. Oh, no, first of all, this is not just my property. And the property owner does not want y'all in her premises. So y'all probably gonna have to go and work that out too. Because nobody wants y'all in here.
I am sharing this video clip to once again give attention to a mother and her husband's fight against this wicked system and their useful idiots who will just do whatever they're told to do, just doing their job, blind to the corruption and the systematic oppression at play. There is no more evidence that is needed to prove that the people of Yahuah are in captivity. They have been scattered amongst the nations and are in bondage. And though the wicked want to provide information when they come in and steal people's children under the color of law, I will say it again, there is nothing that they can offer to the people of Yahuah. It is only Yahuah that can say what the people of Yahuah need to know about a Child Protective Service assessment. And I will continue in this video to go over that because there is a huge need. The knowledge needs to go forth. And it's not by me. It is information that Yahuah is revealing to his people. And I will continue to share stories in other videos to get the word out, to raise awareness. And in this video, right here, I will share Mrs. S's story and to lift her up so that Yahuah's will be done in her husband, and her children's lives. I will leave links to the videos in the description box. They're very hard to watch. Just like in video 1, where I showed the story of the mother who is still fighting the same battle and continuing to get pushback. Without delay, I'm going to now turn to Yahuah's Word, and I have put together a video of Yahuah's people reading through Dabary, or Deuteronomy 28, speaking about the blessings and the curses. So after this video, we will go on looking more into the blessings, the curses, and the role of the wicked in all of this. Yahuah is going to see his people through. There is hope.
Verse 1 of Deuteronomy 28, talking about who are the true children of Israel. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahuah thy Elohim, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yahuah thy Elohim will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth. First of all, he's going to tell us how, as a nation, we can be set on high above all the other nations. Verse 2, and all these blessings shall come on thee. Wait a minute. All these blessings shall come on you. Yes. And overtake thee. Overtake me? Yes. That means these blessings will almost chase me. And pretty much once they chase me, grab me, overwhelm me. I'll be tackled by these blessings. There'll be so many of them. Amen. If you hearken to the voice of who? Yahuah your Elohim. Which we know that Yahuah's voice is in the Torah. He himself says that the Torah is his voice. And many times I've given you examples of the many different words used to describe Torah. One of the words to describe Torah is word. Another word to describe Torah is his will. Another word to describe Torah is the law. Another word is commandments. Another word is what he just says here, the voice of Yah. And I could go on and on and on. Okay? Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body. That's all you got to do is obey his voice. And it means your kids going to be blessed. And the fruit of thy ground, your agriculture. And the fruit of thy cattle, the cattle. And the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. And blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. So you know that the basket is what you carry. And the store is your storehouse. Blessed shall thou be when thou come in, and blessed shall thou be when thou goest out. You're going to be so happy to come home because it's full of blessings. And when you leave home, you're going to be happy because when you go out, you're still going to be a blessed person. Yahuwah shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. You will see, he says, when you obey my voice, I'll fight your battles. Do you see it? They shall come against thee how many ways? One way, and flee before you 7 ways. He says, I'm going to scatter them. And of course, that word scatter represents the number of perfection. So I'm going to perfectly scatter your enemies from you. Yahuwah shall command blessings upon thee in thy storehouse. Wait a minute. Even if the devil don't want you blessed, your neighbors, your enemies, it won't matter because Yah says, if you hear my voice, I'm going to command the blessing. Just like he commanded the sun to shine and it starts shining, and the moon to glow, and the birds to fly, and the fish to swim, he can command the blessing. He said he would. And in all that thou settest thy hand to do, and he shall bless thee in the land which Yahuwah thy Elohim giveth thee. Yahweh shall establish thee a holy people, set apart unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee. Now here's the kicker. If all this will happen, verse 9, if what? Talk back, y'all. If thou shalt keep what? Commandments of Yahuwah thy Elohim, and do what? That's what he said. All of these things will come upon you. You'll be a super blessed, super satisfied person if you just hear his voice, obey his commandments, walk in his ways. Very, very simple formula. So the identification mark of the people of Yah, based on the blessing side, is by following Yah. This will be your position in the earth. He will command the blessings. Verse 10. And all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by who? The name of Yahweh or Yahuwah. And they shall be afraid of thee. That word means they will reverence you. They will respect you. There will be a godly fear that they will have of you because they know that Yahuwah, your Elohim, is your Elohim. Now verse 11. And Yahweh and Yahuwah shall make thee plenteous in goods. Wait a minute, that sounds like goods, right? That's stuff that you need. That's good. In the fruit of thy body, that's the children, right? In the fruit of thy cattle, livestock, and the fruit of thy ground, in the land which Yahuwah swore unto thy fathers to give thee. What fathers? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Verse 12. Yahuwah shall open unto thee his, oh my goodness, this is getting so good. His what? He said, if you just hear my voice, keep my commandments, walk in your way, walk in my way. You see all these blessings? He know you follow Yah, he'll give unto thee his good treasures. Now, what are the good treasures? The heavens, to give rain unto thy land in its season, and to bless all the work of thine hand. And thou shalt lend to many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. Again, we are talking about a position of of prosperity. 13. And Yahuwah shall make thee, oh my goodness, what? And not the, keep his commandment, follow his word, walk in his ways, you'll be the head, and not the follower. They would be the pace setter, if you please, not the tail dragger. They would be the trend setter. They would be the head and not the tail. And thou shalt be above only. It's right there. And thou shalt not be beneath. If thou hearken, he says it again, if thou hearken unto the commandments of Yahuwah thy Elohim, which I command thee this day to observe and, talk back again, do them. But thou shalt not go aside. It says right here, from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left, or to go after other gods to serve them. That means I don't want you participating in anything that has pagan roots. I don't care if it's Christmas, Easter, Mother's Day, Halloween, or whatever. I don't want you bowing down and serving any other gods and participating in their practices. So, do you see the blessings? Verses 1 through 14. Let's quickly review. How do we get these blessings? First, hear his voice, right? Then what'd you say in the back? Keep his commandment, and then what? Walk in his ways. Hear his voice. That's like what we're doing tonight by reading the manuscript. Once we hear him, we begin to keep, or what we call guard, in his commandments. That means we keep them holy and righteous, and we learn them so that we can then obey them. We don't kick them to the side. We don't say that they're no longer valid. We don't say they don't apply to us. We don't pick and choose the ones we like. Oh, we got 10 commandments, but let's get rid of one. So we're going to have 10 minus one because this one's been fulfilled and all that kind of stuff. Listen, what we want to do is exactly what he said. Keep all the commandments. And don't turn to the what? Right? Or to the... And he said, I will bless your house. I'll bless your kids. I'll bless your journey as you go out. When you come home, you're going to be so happy because your house is going to be blessed. When you go outside, look in the barn, it's going to be full. You're going to be blessed. When you watch your cattle give birth, they're going to be healthy. When you watch your garden put on fruit, it's going to be good. Even your children are going to come out good because I'm going to bless the fruit of your body. And then when the enemy come against you, I'll fight him off. Don't even worry about that. Don't worry about the enemy that rises up, because I will be your, watch this, master of armies. I used to sing a song back in the day. We don't sing this no more, but they used to say he's a battle axe in a time of trouble. Verse 15 says, but, oh boy, my goodness, there it is. He said, but, now this is what I will do. I promise you. Now look, the first 14 verses is just, it's the same amount of Torah. I mean, it's just as much Torah or truth or teaching than the rest of the chapter. But notice, he point blank says, all you got to do is hear my voice, keep my commandment, walk in my ways, and don't let anybody turn you one way or the other. Because that's what these newfangled modern Christianity is doing. On every turn, on every step, they got a way of turning you against Yah's word in one way or another. He said, don't do that. Now, let's look at verse 15. But, it's right in the Bible. That word but is a is a contrasting conjunction. It means, okay, if you do these things, this is what's going to happen. But if you don't, it shall come to pass. If you will not hearken to the voice of Yah. Remember, he told you to hearken all these blessings. So he just starts over. He said, but if you don't hearken to the voice of Yahuwah thy Elohim, to observe, to do all his commandments, then that was the second thing, right? He said, first hear, and then do the commandments. So he says, now if you don't hear me, and you don't do all, not some, all his commandments, and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these, talk back, curses. So the first side, he says, all these blessings. Now, I've listened to some of these so-called preachers and pastors talk about the blessings of Yah, how they're the head and not the tail, and how these blessings are for the getting. And if we just follow him, we're going to be blessed in the city and blessed in the fields and blessed at home. And people be shouting, woo, go ahead, Reverend, preach, preach. And then they said, because this is still valid for us today, these blessings can still be claimed today. All right? When they get to verse 15, though, they stop. Now, if the blessing, Zion, please hear me, you Hebrews. If the blessings are still in effect today, where you could be the head and not the tail, where you're blessed coming and going, blessed in the field and blessed in the city. That's the country, y'all. Your bank account is blessed and your wallet is blessed. Your storehouse is blessed and your basket. Your kids are blessed. Your animals are even happy. And your enemies are fleeing in 7 different directions. If all of those blessings are still in effect today, then verse 15 is still in effect today, which means that the cursing, watch this, for not doing these things are still in effect. You can't have a lopsided Bible where he says, I'm going to take this part of the Bible because it sounds good, but we're going to ignore the other part.
Yahuwah is not playing. Trouble's on the way. This word is going to be a witness against us. And we've got to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to. Because Yahuwah is not playing. He's not a toy to be played with. And if you think you can just do what you want to do and it's okay, then you're in a sad boat. Now listen to what it says. But if you will not obey the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, so he might have spoke to you in a voice. I want you to do this. And you did it for a while, but then you stopped. You don't stop until he tells you to stop. Your deliverance, your blessing, your preservation is in your obedience. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Or to be careful to do all his commandments, his statutes that I command you today. Then all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. Curse shall you be in the city. Curse shall you be in the field. Curse shall be the basket in your kneading bowl. Curse shall be the fruit of your womb, the fruit of your ground, the increase of your herd, and the young of your flock. Curse shall you be when you come in. Curse shall you be when you go out. And Yahuwah, who's going to do this? The adversary? No, it doesn't say that. It says Yahuwah. Now, he might use the adversary as an instrument, but Yahuwah is going to be doing this. So you can pray against the adversary all you want, But Yahuwah is doing this because of your disobedience. Yahuwah will send on you curses, confusion, frustration, and all that you undertake to do. Until you are destroyed and perish quickly on the account of the evil of your deeds, because you have forsaken me. Yahuwah will make the pestilence stick to you until he has consumed you off the land that you are entering to possess of it. And Yahuwah will strike you with wasting disease and with fever, inflammation, furious heat, with drought, and with blight, and with mildew. They shall pursue you until you perish. The heavens over your head shall be bronze, and the earth under your feet, the earth under you shall be iron. And Yahuwah will make the rain of your land powder. From heaven dust shall come down unto you until you are destroyed. Now, I don't think that's chemtrails. Yahuwah will cause you to be defeated before your enemies. You shall go out one way against them and shall flee 7 ways before them. You shall be in horror to all the kingdoms of the earth, and your dead body shall be food for all the birds of the air and for the beasts of the earth. There shall be no one to frighten them away. Yahuwah will strike you with the boils of Mitzrayim of Egypt, with tumors, with scabs and itch, of which you cannot be healed. Yahuwah will strike you with madness, blindness, and confusion of mind. You shall grope in noonday, as the blind grope in darkness. You shall not prosper in your way, and you shall be only oppressed and robbed continually, and there shall be no one to help you. You shall betroth a wife, but another man shall ravage her. You shall build a house, but you shall not dwell in it. You shall plant a vineyard, but you shall not enjoy its fruit. Your ox shall be slain before your eyes, but you shall not eat any of it. Your donkey shall be seized before your face, but shall not be restored to you. Your sheep shall be given to your enemy, but there shall be no one to help you. Your sons and your daughters shall be given to other people, while your eyes look on and fail with the longing for them all day long, but you shall be helpless. This is powerful stuff the Father's talking. A nation that you have not known shall eat up the fruit of your ground and all your labors, and shall be only oppressed and crushed continually, so that you are driven mad by the sight that your eyes see. Yahuwah will strike you on the knee and on the leg with grievous boils, of which you cannot be healed, from the sole of your feet to the crown of your head. Yahuwah will bring you and your king, whom you have set over you, to a nation that neither you nor your fathers have known. And there shall serve other Elohim of wood and stone. And you shall become a horror, a proverb, a byword among the people, where Yahuwah will lead you away. You shall carry much seed into the field, and shall gather in little, for the locusts shall consume it. You shall plant vineyards and dress them, but you shall neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes. for the worm shall eat them. You shall have olive trees throughout all your territory, but you shall not anoint yourself with oil, for your olives shall drop off. You shall father sons and daughters, but they shall not be yours, for they shall go into captivity. The crooked shall possess all the trees and the fruit of your ground. The sojourner who is among you shall rise higher and higher above you, and you shall come down lower and lower. He shall lend to you, and you shall not lend to him. He shall be the head, and you shall be the tail. All this is from not obeying his commandments and voice. All these curses shall come upon you, pursue you, and overtake you till you are destroyed, because you did not obey the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim to keep his commandments, his statutes he commanded you. They shall be a sign and a wonder against you and your offspring forever.
Forever. The word there is olam. And in this case, that word means to eternity. As long as this happens, as long as these particular people disobey Yah's commandments, these same things are going to continue to happen to them. Now, we're going to go a little bit further because there's some future prophecy in here that hasn't happened. We observe, us conscious Hebrews or people of Messianic faith, observe the whole Torah because we know that there's still prophecy in these books that has not yet been fulfilled. We're going to catch some that is way future. Some prophecy is close time. Some is afar off. There's some in here that's afar off that has been fulfilled. So, I'm going to show you. Because you serve not Yahuwah Elohim with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore you shall serve your enemies, which Yahuwah shall send against you, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness, and in all want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon your neck. Okay. Now, I know we don't have a lot of history because for the quote-unquote ancient Hebrews, because a lot of it's been destroyed. We've had times where we've seen temples being destroyed and books burned throughout history by Greeks and Romans and Babylonians and Assyrians. But there is some more recent history that we have, and it shows yokes of iron upon people's necks. I don't know any other people on the planet in the masses. I won't say small, because small things happen all over. If you put a yoke of iron on somebody's neck that's your slave in your household, I don't know if that necessarily constitutes for a whole nation. But when a whole nation goes into captivity with shackles and irons, it's something that, as conscious individuals, we should pay attention to. Put a yoke of iron upon your neck until he have destroyed you. Yahuwah shall bring a nation against you from far, from the end of the earth. And it says, as swift as the eagle flies a nation whose tongue you shall not understand. He's going to get to a point, and I'm going to get there. But I need to bring out something. Egyptian is not a nation and a language that they didn't understand. So if he says, I'm sending you back into Egypt, I'm pretty sure they would understand Egyptian because they just spent 400 years in Egypt. I'm pretty sure they spoke Egyptian. So that's not a language that they didn't understand. Abraham was from Ur of the Chaldees. That's Assyrian, Babylonian, Sumerian. So I'm sure fragments of that language would have been around also. They traded. There was other people around. Canaan, they were going to Canaan, which was under Egyptian occupation at the time. That's something you have to do research on. So who is this language that's coming that they're not going to understand? Them or their forefathers. Okay. And it says, a nation of fierce countenance which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of your cattle and the fruit of your hand until you be destroyed, which also shall not leave you either grain, wine, or oil, or the increase of your kind, or flocks of your sheep, until he have destroyed you. And he shall besiege you in all your gates until your high and fenced walls come down, wherein you trusted, throughout all your land. And he shall besiege you in all your gates throughout all your land, which Yahuwah Elohim has given you. And you shall eat the fruit of your own body, and the flesh of your sons and your daughters, which Yahuwah Elohim has given you in the siege, and in the straitness, wherewith your enemies shall distress you. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the woman of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave. So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he has nothing left him in the siege and in the straitness wherein your enemies shall distress you in all your gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tender, her eye shall be evil toward the man of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young ones that come out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat, or a better translation is consume them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness wherewith your enemy shall distress you in your gates. If you will not observe to do all the words of this Torah that are written in this Sefer or book, that you may fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahuwah Elohim, then Yahuwah will make your plagues wonderful, and the plagues of your seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance. He says it twice. Yah doesn't say anything twice on accident. All the distress of Mitzrayim or Egypt, which you are afraid of, they shall cleave unto you, and every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this Torah, then will Yahuwah bring upon you until you be destroyed. And you shall be left few in number, whereas you are as the stars of the heaven for multitude, because you would not obey the voice of Yahuwah Elohim. And it shall come to pass, as Yahuwah rejoiced over you to do good and multiply you, so Yahuwah will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And you shall be plucked from off the land whither you go to possess it. And Yahuwah shall scatter you among all people. People who are scattered among all people are not lost. They're scattered. There's a difference. There's a difference between the people who disappeared or blended and the people that are scattered or sprinkled or spread among all people. Okay, and it says, from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there you shall serve other Elohim, which neither you nor your forefathers have known. And among these nations shall you find no ease, neither shall the sole of your foot have rest. But Yahuwah shall give you there a trembling heart. I don't know any other people on the planet who have had to fear for their lives daily, like the scattered. I'm not just talking about in America. I'm talking about all over. I'm talking about the Dravidian people, the Madagascan people, the remnant that was scattered throughout Africa after the siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD. I'm talking about the people who fled to islands who were spread by a nation that came to their lands to take them off of it. They had been scattered and they had traveled, but then there was another scattering, and we're going to get to this. So we have to read the whole thing. I know it's getting long, but the rest of this is really short. I'm reading this for context. Among these nations shall you find no ease, neither shall the sole of your foot have rest, but Yahuwah shall give you there a trembling heart and failing eyes and sorrow of mind. And your life shall hang in doubt before you, and you shall fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of your life. In the morning you shall say, would to Elohim it were evening, and at evening you shall say, would to Elohim it were morning. For the fear of your heart, wherewith you shall fear, and for the sight of your eyes, which you shall see. The things that you're going to see, the things you're going to go through, are going to make you wish the days would pass fast. I don't know any other nation who was subjected to rape and young girls being raped and treated like half a human. I don't know any other people on the planet who were killed. I don't know any other people who were eradicated to zero. I don't know, like the Native Americans, I don't know another people who feared for their lives and were hung from trees and people came to watch lynchings with their children after Sunday church. I don't know another people on the planet who were scattered and were in fear of a nation coming from the north to change their names. I don't know another people like the Filipinos who are called Filipinos because Philip came and conquered the Philippines, but these people have a language similar to the Hebrews. I don't know any other people on the planet. So to say that I'm choosing a people who shouldn't be chosen is absurd because these things fit these scattered people who have been driven off of their land because of disobedience to Torah. Let me keep going. In the verse 68, And Yahuwah shall bring you into Mitzrayim again with ships. By the way thereof I spoke unto you. You shall see it no more again, and there you shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. This is the kicker. You're going to go into Egypt again with ships. Now, anybody who can think logically and who has read Torah or knows anything about Egypt knows that they walked out of Egypt. Why on Yah's green earth would they need ships to go somewhere that was walking distance from Israel or Canaan where they were heading? Nowadays, you see a barrier between Israel and Israel and Egypt, I'm sorry. And that barrier is called the Suez Canal. That is a man-made canal, and it was not there. So you're not going to need a boat to go back somewhere that only got there in the 1900s. Why would they be taking ships to Egypt unless Egypt was meant for something else? Egypt is always a reference in the Bible as the place of bondage. Okay? Also, I know Josephus said that the Jews went back and sold themselves into the salt mines in Egypt. Okay? And that nobody would hire them. Josephus didn't see the American slave trade, and he didn't see cargo ships full of people stacked to the brim with shackles around their necks being shipped all over the world. So I'm going to go in Josephus's defense and say that if he had seen that he would have agreed with me in saying that, oh, this actually fits that. Okay? So, ships, people, scattered to the four corners of the earth. Now you kind of get where I'm coming from when I say Yahuwah's people are these black people or these colored people who have been scattered and mingled and spread all over the earth to the four corners.
I'm going to right now show a video clip from Mrs. S, and just want you to keep in mind the blessings and the curses when you watch these horrific videos of what's going on in this wicked land of captivity.
I'm going to open the door. I'm not going to open the door until I put some clothes on. I don't want y'all here. Y'all don't have a right warrant. Y'all don't have the correct warrant. My kids don't have no clothes on. I don't have no clothes on. Please don't break my door down. No, but I verified with the sheriff's office and the DA, district attorney's office. Y'all don't have a right to have a warrant against me. I haven't committed any crimes. Please let me put some clothes on and I will come out and speak with y'all. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, they're breaking the door. I don't have any clothes on. To who?
Surrender the children to us. We have to order from DHS for their custody.
DHS, can you listen to me? What is your name, sir? What is your name? What is your name? Listen, what is your name? Listen, what is your name? They haven't conducted an investigation yet against me. They have no right. They have no right. They have no right to take my children. And my sister's coming because she would like to have my children. Y'all don't know my children, and she's going to come.
Okay, this you can get the word for you. This is information. But as far as the children go, we get full order to do what we see these kids able to do.
No, how do you have? Please get. I don't. Excuse me. Can you shut the door? I'm naked. My kids don't have any clothes on. Can y'all please leave? No, I don't want to. My kids ain't even got no clothes on. How y'all gonna take my kids with no clothes on? No, this is against my rights. Yes, it is. How do you have the authority to take my kids and you haven't done an investigation on them yet? I don't have to. That's against my constitutional rights. You're breaking the law. You're going against my rights. Sir, I called the sheriff's office. They told me that he don't have a warrant. There's no warrant on me. I called the district attorney's office.
This has no authority over this.
You're private. You're private. This is under CC1. This is under the UCC code. I don't have to abide by the UCC.
Take the kids.
Listen. I don't have to abide by the UCC code. I'm going to give it. Yeah, please. Can you shut the door so I can speak with you? I'm have just violated and they have just, I'm not surrendering my kids. They robbed, you said all robbed, they just broke my door in from the downstairs going up here. Because I was on the phone with the sheriff's department. I was on the phone, I contacted the district attorney's office. I don't have no one, what crime, please tell me what crime I have committed. Please tell me what crime I have committed, miss, for y'all to be allowed to come out here and take my children. Okay, okay. I need them, I don't want them in my I need them to leave out. No, Why are y'all in my things? Get out of my things. Y'all have to, I want to talk. Can you come out here and talk? I don't want them in here while I'm not in here. I'm going to give her the kids, but I need y'all to leave out because I don't have any clothes on, and I told that to y'all. Y'all you don't have to leave all the way out. You don't have to leave all the way out. Can y'all just step out into the hallway? So with respect. Okay. Oh, no, we can talk. But I don't want them searching and doing things. Well, I mean, I am. My sister has a right, and you can see my whole backside. I'm pregnant. I'm 8 months pregnant. My sister wants to come so she can have my children. She has kinship rights. My mother has kinship rights. Y'all can wait until they come because this is not gonna go like this. I didn't commit any crimes. I haven't committed any crimes, and nobody's told me what gave y'all the authority to obtain a warrant when I haven't committed a crime. DHS hasn't did an investigation yet. DHS hasn't did an investigation. Why are y'all in that room? Can y'all please come out of the room? Y'all can't look for no kids' clothes for my kids. Get out of my stuff. Stop searching my house.
If you did more than just videotape us and start blabbing about made-up case law.
It's not made-up case law, and I'm going to sue y'all. Every last one of y'all need your names because y'all being sued. Y'all want to be sued. I'm suing every last one of y'all. I'm suing. This is not my property. Y'all broke into someone else's property. Y'all will be sued. Baby, come in here. I want my son in here. No, I'm going to sue everybody that's in here. Yes, can I speak? I want to be out there while they're out there. I know that, but I need to see what's going on. You cannot speak with my son because I didn't give you permission.
I'm singing you a Sharky Boy. Praise thee, Yah Israel. Your love is beautiful. So beautiful. Your love is wonderful. Hey, your love is beautiful. Your love is wonderful. When the Israelites rejected your covenant, breaking the laws and statutes, then we went into captivity for lack of knowledge. Wake up, Israelites, come back to your senses. Your love is beautiful. So beautiful, yeah. Your love is wonderful. So wonderful, your love is beautiful. So beautiful. Your love is wonderful. Yo, the message of it, tell them a chant and a sing. Isaiah Jeremiah don't give out the warning. Now I shy, yo, and David the king. Want about the Lord Moses bring. Israelite, repent from all your sins. I love the Most High deep within. Away with all those false doctrines. Papa said, burn these soul systems. All the prophets of the Bible were sent from the Most High. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Your love is beautiful. So beautiful, yeah. Your love is wonderful. Yes. This is it. Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I speak unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. Egypt? Yeah, man. This is talking about the spiritual Egypt, America, the house of bondage.
Oh, that's how our Western journey began.
Yeah, man. Israel gone captivity for breaking your law. We were driven out of Israel by the Roman Empire. Seek some refuge in West Africa. Then the Arab and the Hamites sold us to Esau. Them pack us on the slave ship to America. Enslave us, fire upon the slave master. But the scripture said, you must be a fierce slaughters for the iniquities of your forefathers.